Hey yo, what it do, baby? You know who this is, your boy King P, Bodega Boxer in the building. And this is Ring Gang Radio, real talk, you know what I'm saying? On a Thursday night, shit is always real, but today extra real. So we gonna talk that real shit tonight, Bodega style. You know what I'm saying? We always got the flavor. So I'm hosting tonight, your boy King P. You know what I'm saying? I got my mans with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yeah, man, you know, what's good, man? It's Pat Scorpion, New England representative, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, you know, like I said, you know, taking a night off from doing the hosting. It's the week, you know, it's the weekday, but it's all good though, because P's gonna hold it down. But yeah, man, you know, let's get to it.
Hey yo, that's my guy Pat, you know what I'm saying? He always does a good job hosting, so you know what I'm saying? But today he gets a well-deserved, you know, night off from the hosting abilities. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm the captain tonight, so you know what I'm saying? But I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
What the hell? What's wrong with him?
He really just disappeared before. I was like, damn, you out here, you know, escaping your intro and shit?
He said, fuck the host. I ain't go. What the hell? This ain't the real talk I'm used to. Like, what the fuck?
Jeez. Okay, here we go. Hey, where'd you go to, son?
I got my other man. He finally here. Let him introduce himself.
Hey, what it do, man? It's RingGangRadio.com in the building. Your boy Shuttleworth the guy, aka LB, Lauderdale boss, the GOAT artist. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's do this. Had a little technical difficulties. They ain't want me to shine. I mean, they ain't want me to speak my piece on this one. They try to get me out the paint, but nah, I'm here. So what's good? Let's do this.
Man, you can't stop the shine from the guy from the Gunshine State. So you know what I'm saying? We always shine it. But you know what I'm saying? It's a Thursday night, and we got some real talk tonight. Two different categories. You know what I'm saying? We got boxing, and we got some hip hop. Let's just start off with the boxing real quick. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into the main event. But you know, on the co-main today, you know, we got a little boxing poll for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know, we all loved, you know, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, one of the best fights of this year. A controversial decision, you know, by many. So a lot of us wanted them to run it back. Well, it seems like that's not going to happen because Jake Paul is making his return to the ring, you know, next month or in 2 months. And it's been reported that Serrano is on the undercard. So that's not happening. Co-main.
We gotta put a little more respect on it.
I forget. I gotta say co-main instead of undercard.
You say undercard, you make it seem like she like the opener or some shit.
Yeah, no, my fault. You know what I'm saying? Serrano's not an opener. But so a lot of people are like, well, what happened? Why aren't we getting the rematch? Well, it seems like you know, one Eddie Hearn has been, you know, saying his piece and saying how, you know, can't get the rematch now. We want, you know, we want the rematch, but it's got to make sense, and we want the most money that we can get from it, and it's got to be in Ireland. And they're like, oh, you know, Serrano doesn't want that fight. Oh, you know what I'm saying? If you believe in yourself, you'll come across seas. So because of that, you know what I'm saying? He said the fight's not happening now. So Serrano moved on. So now she's got her opponent coming up. And we'll see what happens with Katie Taylor. But you know what I'm saying? We took notice of this. So we had a little poll that we wanted to ask. You know what I'm saying? So let the people, you know, put their input in. And that's an easy one. Who deserves the most blame for Taylor Serrano 2 not happening? Is it Eddie Hearn and Katie Taylor? Or Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano? So we got 31 votes so far. There's still 5 days left, so go vote. You know what I'm saying? Speak your piece. But of 31 votes, 71% said it's Eddie Hearn and Katie Taylor's fault. They are the most to blame, as opposed to Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano's 29%.
Yes.
So the people have spoken. So, you know what I'm saying? LB, you know, what you think about this whole situation? Who you putting the blame on? I heard that yes. I already know like we know where you stand.
It's Hearn, man. Hearn once again fucked it up, fumbled the bag. He put the turd in the punch bowl, whatever phrase you want to use. Because it never fails with this dude. And the reason why, the topic, I mean, tonight's a New York night. This is a New York fight. We're going to talk about a New York hip-hop artist. So, New York legend, 2 New York legends, just one in boxing, one in hip-hop. So, we going to be respectful with it and really break it down. First, on the boxing shit. Hearn full of shit. Like, you seen Ellerby been talking about him last, I think, week, and how he fumbled $1 billion trying to take over America with boxing, and he made not one star. I mean, he got some niggas paid, I'll give him that, and he raised the profile for women's boxing, but overall, if you talking that big, you gotta deliver, and he ain't deliver. So then recently, I think last night or a day ago, Lou DiBella was speaking on him again. And just Hearn, he rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, especially the American promoters. And now he's rubbing the fans the wrong way because this rematch was like the easiest rematch to make. All you had to do was run it back in the Garden. You don't have to take the fight nowhere else. It's always going to be Katie Taylor's house, and it's going to be Serrano's house as well. Katie Taylor's bringing in British and Ireland fans, and Serrano, she got the turf. She got Brooklyn, Bronx, New York, the whole fucking state. It's guaranteed to make money. They hyped up all the record-breaking sales and this, that, so it's already proven. With all that said, why in the fuck would you speak this Ireland nonsense? Now, nothing against Ireland, and this is coming from a dude that I got grandparents fucking mixed Irish and shit. So I ain't capping. Like, it's real shit. Beat as it may, like that shit ain't got nothing to do with anything. Now, if Katie Taylor was a bona fide attraction in Ireland, and she's selling out, 20,000 seat arenas, and she's doing it big, I'm talking prime Ricky Hatton money. Like, hell, even if Ricky Hatton fight now, he'll probably fill up fucking Manchester Arena or whatever. So I'm just saying, if you had that situation going on, I could understand it, but you don't. They always try to bring this, and we spoke about this earlier in the year. They always try to bring this whole Katie Taylor's a cash cow shit to women's boxing, but then she hardly is ever a main event on her own. You always gotta put a big co-main with her, or she's the damn co-main herself, and she's never fucking fought in Ireland. So why are we reaching? Like, who made up this scenario to make it seem like it's only going to sell here in a place that never sold anything before? It's like y'all going to Florida talking like we telling you in Florida there's oranges, but you coming down here for apples.
No, we want apples, man. We want pears. Where the pears at?
Yeah, we want pears, nigga. Fuck that. I know y'all got oranges for days down here, but we didn't want that. Like, sir, we just have oranges, the best oranges in the country. No, apples, nigga, and pears. So that's my take on it. It just moving the goalposts, is just throwing a wrench, and all Jake Paul did, and that just show you Jake Paul already a better promoter. He had a fucking plan B in place because he knew Hearn was going to do some bullshit, and so I feel like it's a chess move because he's gonna fucking put it back in the Madison Square Garden where everybody wants to fight the B. He'll probably fight Tommy Fury or somebody, who cares? But then, you promote Serrano heavy, she's the co-main, and if they sell out the arena again, Serrano's gonna get a lot of credit for that. And then it's like, well, hey, why the fuck we gotta put it in Ireland? There's no test to that. That's an experiment. It's even a bigger experiment than Australia. There's no Pacquiao Horn fight in Ireland for us to fucking look back on and say, okay, this works. That there's not even a Tim Tszyu that's making it work right now.
Yeah, because there were people that were like, well, Haney did it, so why couldn't Serrano do it? I'm like, well, first of all, Kambosos has actually fought in Australia before he came to the U.S., so that's a horrible comparison. Katie Taylor's never fought in her whole career in Ireland, so don't use that comparison. You pick a better comparison.
Yeah, you're talking about staging a fight that doesn't even have a market in there yet, and you don't even know of the market. But he's trying to convince us that so much sales. It prints up money. Like, dude, it's like, oh my god, like this is the biggest example of him being on his used car salesman shit.
Yes,
like he's gonna fucking just convince you that Ireland's the place to be for this fight, and look how long it takes him to make the fight with Usyk Joshua rematch.
That shit was supposed to be June and then July and now August. Like, motherfucker, pick a date. Like about damn time.
It's gonna be next year. Like, the fuck. But I heard now it's in like
Saudi Arabia.
It was going to be in Saudi Arabia. That's the it's never going to be anywhere else but Saudi Arabia.
Oh, man, they must be answering prayers over there because he stayed delivering them some fights.
Oh yeah, because they have a lot of oil money, Arab money, bro. That's the reason, because they pay over and then some. That's why the motherfuckers get. That's why Anthony Joshua is like one of the highest paid fucking boxers, probably outside of Canelo. Or probably now he probably is the highest paid boxer now with this DAZN deal that he got.
I mean, this is the thing. Anthony Joshua always been a bigger star than Canelo, and the reason being that Joshua could fill up places fighting anybody. Canelo, you can't.
Or they don't really want to risk doing that. That's another thing.
Yeah, look, when you don't want to risk it, that means because you can't.
Yeah.
This is true.
You want to expect it goes back to the Taylor Serrano. You want to risk it now because Serrano's a great B-side, or she's an elite opponent for you to risk it. Nah, risk it with some other buddy.
I mean, obviously, I can see it from Eddie's part. Obviously, he'll probably market it as a homecoming fight because she does have an Irish base. Like that's one thing I have to. She does have one, but she just hasn't matched. She just hasn't fought in one. But it also too, it's also now making Serrano. Serrano really wants it. You're right. It's probably playing chess right now. But I'm pretty sure Serrano wants the range because she doesn't. Serrano was pretty much seen as probably like the pound for pound like best women fighter outside of Cecilia Braekhus for years. And then since she got beaten, and and now it's like I'm pretty sure she wants to run it back. But now it's the
biggest and best fight. Like, people forget, if Serrano doesn't have any other better fight, that means Taylor doesn't either.
Well, everyone's been gunning for Taylor because let's put it this way. Everyone knows. Yeah,
but people gun for her, but she doesn't have no super fights. Like, it's not like you're gonna hear a trilogy with her soon. You're not gonna get a rematch with Jonas anytime soon. She even said that she been trying to make the rematch, and they not even looking in her direction. So that already tells you what time it is.
The only other one, obviously, and this one just more or less depends on if she wants to go up, is the McCaskill fight, as Taylor does have a victory over her. So it's like, that's the
but that doesn't make sense right now. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Look, if Katie Taylor moves up to fight McCaskill, nah, she's getting destroyed. Like, you don't want those problems right now. Like, that's like Brooke fighting Golovkin. Like, there's no need to. And then what? You're gonna wait for Baumgartner, Mayer?
Yeah,
but that's it's too long of a wait for that, and you don't know if they'll do another one. So it's like, this is the most.
If you're not gonna have the fight in New York, I doubt they're gonna fly their ass to damn Ireland.
Well, Baumgartner will, because they're both her.
I don't know if they might go to the UK, but they're not going to no fucking Ireland.
Yeah,
we'll see about that.
and Serrano damn sure is not going to know, because like I said, because pretty much if Eddie actually does successfully, let's say, bring him to Ireland, then all of a sudden Serrano knows for sure that she's going to have to like knock her out twice in order to get a draw on a card or some shit like that.
Of course, and see, look how she was getting treated here. Like, so you want to bring her to Ireland now, and especially Ireland. We don't know if the market hasn't been tested, so it's just some shiesty, janky promoter shit. Like, he on some Mike Ebbs Ice Cube shit with this.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, because that fight lived up to its height, and then something overperformed. So it gave Eddie the bandwidth to do what he's doing.
Oh, you mean be a used car salesman again? Oh Lord!
Yeah,
as if Eddie needed a reason to do that. He does that in his sleep, like.
Oh yeah, salute, Henry God, I see you in there, salute, bro.
Salute, what it do, Henry God? So yeah, look how they treating Chisora. They keep dragging Chisora out, like, dude, like come on.
Yeah, I mean, Chisora doesn't have any. Yeah, I mean that Chisora is just. I'm just waiting. He's gonna turn into another Danny Williams, like if they're not careful, like. Because that's just coming. But yeah, I mean Eddie. I mean, and Chisora, of course, has been with Eddie probably for a hot minute, so that's probably the reason why. It's just unfortunately that's his role. But yeah,
get him in some movies. Like, y'all wasting Chisora trying to make him some damn champion. Y'all ain't gonna give him the decisions he deserves. So it's like,
yeah,
stop getting this man beat up. Like,
he's just there to do four rounds of good work and then heavy breathing the rest. Like he's about to die. Like, I'm afraid one of these days he's gonna keel over off that fucking stool and fucking have a heart attack. Like, what the fuck?
I ain't trying to see that. And it's like, he gave us a good fight with the Parker rematch, and that honestly, and that's how boxing hurt itself. If they would have did it what they were supposed to do, they would be talking about a trilogy, and Chisora could ride off into the sunset.
Right.
But instead, y'all got it 2-up, and it's like, what kind of shit is this? Like, it's not even on no Canelo Golovkin where you at least got a draw. Like, you got like a straight blatant 2-up, one robbery. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm good, man. You ain't taking over shit in America, Hearn. Like
yeah, he's been trying for years and failing. He's been trying for years and failing miserably. So
yeah, like. I get it, like, none of these promoters are perfect, but if there had to be a promoter that just too many big fights and moments just seem to slip under them too many times, it gotta be Hearn. It has to be. It just feel like we're always on the verge of a great fight happening with him or something, and the dreams get dashed away. Like, I've said this and I've said it last year. Thank God he has Lee Wood over there. Cause and that's even a good example. Lee Wood had the belt and he said, look, man, I want my first defense in Scotland, and he stood on that shit. He made Hearn have to make the fight in Scotland. Lee Wood is nowhere near as talented or big or known as fucking Katie Taylor.
That's no disrespect to Lee Wood.
And that's no disrespect, especially not from me. Like, I don't know who else is touting dude as much as I have. Like, so that's no disrespect. It's just an example where, he said fuck it. He demanded something from Eddie, and Eddie had to deliver. And Conlon went over there as a name, as the favorite, all of that shit, and gave us a fight of the year. And boom. And now we know Scotland has a fucking boxing market. And what a way to give them! And what a way to give them a great first fight.
That is very true. That was a hell of a fight. So
that's how you do it if you want to prove something. So now, if they had a rematch, Conlon could go back, or if you say, look, we're gonna do it neutral, whatever. But at least it's proven. So you mean to tell me this whole time, Katie Taylor never said, you know what? Yeah, Eddie, I want to defend over here in Ireland. Never did it, because you know why? He don't want to risk it. Because if that shit flop or it don't sell out, then that whole aura of her being some big cash cow in women's boxing and she brought the money, that shit disappears. So yeah, so it's more pump faking and slick nigga talk, and you know, here buy my Toyota Celica, and you know, I'll give you this Mustang GT, and I'll loan you this, but you know, I'll trade this bald tire for a slightly less bald. Like, just you gonna get some bullshit. That's all, man.
Lone Shark LB. That's Lone Shark Eddie.
I mean, that's all it is. So I hope the whole Jake Paul Serrano double feature, I hope that is successful. And I hope the card is stacked. I hope it does good for boxing and just shows that, look, man, sometimes if you can't work with certain people, you can't fucking just cry over it. You gotta just make moves, and hopefully you'll gain leverage from what you're doing, and you can bring it back to the table the second time around.
Absolutely.
Like Jake Paul done understood promoting better than Eddie in just damn 1 year.
Who would have thought?
It's crazy.
Who would have thought?
I know, right?
I might have to put Jake Paul on a ballot for, you know, one of the nominations for manager, for promoter of the year.
I know, right? Like you realistically could do that, and I would not even complain. I wouldn't be like, nah, what you doing? I would just sit back and be like, I'll allow it. Yeah, get the peas.
Exactly. But yeah, so I think we can all agree, you know, Eddie's on some fuck shit, but you know what I'm saying, hopefully we'll get that fight eventually. Hopefully now, you know, Eddie will come to his senses and stop being on some used car salesman and give us a fair and proper deal, and we can make the rematch happen, because it just makes too much sense. So, you know, but I think that's about it. You know, we got in that little talk. We got in some little, you know, do better, Eddie, do better.
Please, for the sake of boxing, for anybody that's gonna complain about Jake Paul's next fight, blame Eddie.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Blame Eddie. You mentioned Jake Paul, blame Eddie. Man, why Jake Paul? Blame Eddie. Just, man, I'm tired of y'all niggas YouTube. Blame Eddie. That's all I'm saying. Blame Eddie. We'll make a movement with this shit. Any comment regarding Jake Paul fight from the future, from now on to that fight over, we just gonna say blame Eddie. 2 words.
I mean, we should do like what we should do what people in this country do with like Joe Biden. Whenever we get a fucked up Euro card or some shit that's involving Eddie Hearn, I did that. Yeah, Eddie did that. Eddie did that. Oh, we didn't get that. Eddie did that.
Nobody asked for raisins in the potato salad.
Eddie did that.
Right. Oh, man, all right, man. We done.
Yeah. We warmed up. I'm tired of talking about the used car salesman. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into the main event. You know what I'm saying? We getting rid of the UK stench.